Yeah. Welcome to episode 13 inside of She's Beyond Elevated with Dr. Kimberly Dunlap. So, episode 13 is actually going to be a compilation of all of the episodes from season 1. We are putting a wrap to season 1. So very excited. Remember, stay tuned to the end because I have some important information for you. Don't want you to miss out. And today's episode is really sacred, right? It's called Hearing and Trusting Divine Guidance. Because if strategy is the GPS, then your spirit is your satellite. And baby, when they sync up, when you're in sync across those two, you really stop hustling and you start aligning. Your vagina is keeping you broke. Now, parents, if you are listening and the children are around, this may be something that you may want to censor, but it is a conversation that we're going to have, right? Because when your money and the moves you make with your money are rooted in the approval of the person you're sleeping with, you might just be sleeping. Strategy matters. Systems matter. But without spiritual clarity, you're just checking off boxes really with no direction. Most of us were taught to figure it out on paper, right? But we were really never taught how to listen in the prayer. We weren't taught how to pause, and we definitely were not taught discernment. So we were taught we have to figure it out, get things done, but we really, and most of us, if not all of us, most of us were taught how to pray, but we were never taught how to just sit and be still and wait for direction from the prayer. We were taught how to ask for things through prayer, but never how to interpret how it comes back to us. Remember, on this podcast, we're not talking about making the money. We're talking about building wealth, building a legacy, building something that generations after us can attribute to our efforts. Right? So you need isn't another late night brainstorm, right? You don't need to think about, how can you get your cupcakes in Publix or whatever. You don't need another hustle, right? You need a system that actually works with the person that you are, works with your energy, not against it. Now, what does aligned income really look like? So today's episode is for every woman who's ever been told that she needs to work harder to make more money, right? Or we're actually flipping the narrative completely. It's called building multiple streams of income without burning out, because you don't need more hustle. You need alignment. You might just be out of alignment if you're exhausted, even though you're doing all the right things. So textbook wise, you're doing everything that you should be doing, but there's no fulfillment in it. There's no boost. There's no charge in it. You're exhausted from doing it. You might be out of alignment when you keep forcing opportunities that don't feel right. And women especially were gifted with this small little thing called intuition. You dim the light, which is you, which is the essence of the woman, the essence of you, the essence of the creation. And creation isn't just about childbirth. I'm talking about creating projects and creating movements and creating an impact on the world, because that fire burns deep in. Whereas one person may have a difficult time balancing a spreadsheet, if your gift is to be a controller of numbers, then you can do it in 5 minutes flat and you're off to the next thing. Where it may take someone pushing against what they're called to do and attempting to do this all day to do the exact same thing. So when you are, womb is not just a physical organ, right? It's a sacred space. It's a sacred center of creation, your intuition, your power. The one thing about your womb, okay, men have stomachs, but women have wombs. You are able to birth life through your womb. Now I want you to sit and think about that for just a second. You are literally able with this organ to bring another human being into this world. Now, if that's not a sacred space, I don't know what is. I'm not negating what men do, but let's just be real. They prayed for an answer. They moved before the answer came. And then when the outcome is less than ideal, then they wonder why, what happened? Why do I feel so lost around this decision? Being like 100% real, what usually happens when the outcome is less than ideal, then it chips away at your faith tree, right? So you sit and you say, okay, well, maybe some people say, well, maybe that wasn't. I was taught, and like most of us were taught, that if you are worried, then you pray. And if you are going to pray, then you can't worry, right? So we were taught that, but we were never taught just to sit still, just to be still and wait until those prayers are answered. Now, what that usually entails is it leads smart women into making spiritually disconnected moves and then wondering why they still feel so lost after they've made a move. I don't expect for you to add to me, and you really don't have to. I have what I need, but don't subtract from me. Same premise. You don't have to do anything. But if you're not going to do anything, at least just as you don't add, don't subtract. If you think about it, if you think back to a decision that you made that turned out completely wrong, like completely, everything about it was wrong. I want you to be real honest with yourself and think about before you made that decision, whether or not you had that little burn, that little itch here, that little bubble up in the bottom of your stomach where you're like, maybe I shouldn't. And then you did, and it turned out horribly wrong. But when you give access to someone who doesn't really value you, doesn't really invest in what you're doing, or drains that very life force from you, you're not only giving away your body, right? You're giving away your brilliance as well, because all of that becomes stifled when you're sleeping with the wrong person. Your sexual energy creates, okay? And what it creates just depends on the level of alignment you're in. If he's not elevating you, like truly, he's extracting from you. How many women do you know who stay in jobs they absolutely hate, like despise, because their man, you dig on my air quotes, their man doesn't want them to make more money, right? Or who undercharge because they're afraid of intimidating their partner. You're so scared to hurt his feelings, his pride, his ego, that you will take the lesser when you know you were built for the more. So when your income is aligned, money flows in a way that really doesn't steal your peace. It reflects your values and your boundaries and even your brilliance. The thing about operating in your gifts is that it comes so easily for you. That is how you know it's a gift. And lastly, aligned income is grounded in purpose, not profit. So I know we've all heard the old cliche that when you do what you love, you'll never work another day in your life. I do believe that it's true. I don't believe that it is just because you love it. I will venture to go a step further and say when you walk in your purpose. And just like that, that's a wrap. Season 1 is in the books, and I am so very excited. Thank you all for everyone who followed, who listened, who downloaded, who gave words of encouragement, all of the things. I am so stoked for you guys to see season 2. Season 2 has an amazing group of guests and co-hosts and people who are coming in to pour into you, to give you what you need, to help you on your mission and our mission for you to build wealth and freedom and legacy beyond your 9 to 5. So be sure to stay tuned to season 2, which we are going to take a 2-week hiatus where you will not have a new full-length episode, but we of course will continue to feed your spirit, feed your soul, your divine destiny. We also are going to be hosting some very informative webinars in the realm of the podcast taking its 2-week hiatus before we release season 2. So I think you guys will be very, very excited. If you follow me, if you have not, be sure to follow. Be sure to set your notifications so that you are aware when the second season drops. Excuse me, it will actually be 2 full weeks from today's drop of today's episode. So be sure to mark your calendars. Be sure to come back. Let's make season 2 even better than season 1. I am so very grateful because I never imagined the podcast doing what it's doing. So very, very excited. Can't wait to connect with you guys. If you do not follow me on socials, be sure to follow me at Dr. Kimberly Dunlap on all social medias, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, all of the places. If you do not subscribe to the YouTube channel, be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. You guys are thoroughly going to enjoy season 2 because every guest, every episode was created with you guys in mind. So anyway, don't want to take up a lot of time. Have a fantastic, fantastic start to your 2026. We will see you inside of She's Beyond Elevated with Dr. Kimberly Dunlap for season 2. So remember, you weren't born to blend in. You were built to break ceilings, break out of boxes, and break generational curses. Dr. Kimberly Dunlap for season 2. So remember, you weren't born to blend in. You were built to break ceilings, break out of boxes, and break generational curses. Stay bold, stay brilliant, stay beyond elevated. Until next time.